So this is AHPS Clinical Weekly's first vlog. Well, sort of a vlog. I thought I'd give it a go, see how it comes out. As you can see, I'm not really dressed for the occasion, but I thought this might be a nice way to introduce the Huddle Technique app that we're talking about in terms of our running analysis, our gait analysis. Before we go through it, a nod to Tom Goom and his running repairs course. Brilliant course, well worth getting on it, and it's him that introduced the app to us and took us through all the gait analysis, and also a nod to Joe Russell. Nice idea for the vlog and mixing up the Clinical Weekly. So the app itself is called Huddle Technique. That's HUDL. It's a free app on the iPhone, and it looks, if we can see on there, it's the orange app in the bottom corner. If we go into there, so you can use this for anything. We're talking about it here in terms of getting a patient on a treadmill or out on the track and having a look at them running, but if you wanted to film them walking, or I use it quite a lot for filming sort of single leg squats and bits like that, so it can be useful for any sort of filming, shoulder, scapular control, whatever takes your fancy. It stores all the videos all in there, so as you can see, I've been a bit busy with that, and you can go through and play them all back. We want to keep it fairly standardised, as we do with all our physio stuff. What Tom suggested was you film from the front, the back and the side, and you do each angle for around 30 seconds. You try and get everything in, so sort of from top down, not just the feet. We want to have a look at the whole kinematics. I've only got videos here for the back and the side. I can't get in front of the treadmills where I work, but I think the back and the side gives us two really nice views to look at the 4 key points that we investigated in the weekly last week. So if we have a look at what we can kind of do with the videos, so if we bring it up here and let's bring one on to play. So this is the screen you get. You've got different playback options, so we can play it at full speed, or we can play it at half speed, quarter speed, or an eighth of a speed. So for example, if I just take that at full speed now, you can see me. That's me running there on the course in my Chelsea shirt, and then we can slow that right down and go to 1.8, and you can see there, a really nice way to have a good look at someone's running style and what's going on. So that's the first good point. The second thing is we can then have a play around with some of the drawing tools that it has to offer. Okay, so lots of different sort of angles and things. I tend to just use the straight lines myself. Okay, and then we might like to, for example, in this position, so we can pause it, we can move it along and have a look kind of when we're getting a good landing. So if we was to say go to point number 4 of what we're looking in terms of sort of step width, we can take a look at when that foot strikes and when it lands. We can maybe draw a little marker in the middle there, okay, just give us a good idea of where we're landing, and then we can have a look and see, okay, where's that, okay, so, and you can see here I come across that midline a bit, don't I? So in terms of my gait re-education, if I might be getting some issues, it might be that we're getting me to run with a little bit of a wider stance, maybe thinking that there's some tracks to sort of keep my legs apart there, and we can look at the whole lot in line as well if we want. So again, and it's a nice way of taking us through and really having a look, and obviously from the back we can look at kind of the whole kinematics. We can have a look at the foot strike, and also the step width there as well. So that's from the back. We can have a look from the side. So I haven't got one of me from the side, so I'm going to use Adam. I'm sure he won't mind. So here we go. So nice side view there. Okay. So again, we can have a look at the whole kinematics from top to bottom. What's happening with the arms, the trunk, the hips. We can see foot strike nicely from this position. So if we play this in slow motion, we can see that Adam's got a rear foot strike there. If you wanted to see something slightly different, we could. So this one's of James, and we can see that James runs with a 4-foot strike there. Well, kind of mid-foot to 4-foot, but you can see he's more 4-foot than sort of rear foot there. If we go back to Adam here, so same things apply. We look at the kinematics, we look at the foot strength, foot strike. In this position, we can have a nice view of the stride length. So again, we might want to pause it, slow it right down, have a look at when we strike the foot coming through stance phase. So we land there, and we might want to draw. If we take our drawing app tool out again at the top, get our red line, and then if we draw up from where he starts, we can get a nice good picture of where that centre of mass is falling over the foot. So we might say to Adam, particularly if he's getting some issues, that he might want to shorten his stride a little bit and get his centre of mass over his stance foot a little bit, and we can have a look and see if that other foot is falling in the same sort of position. So some really cool stuff we can do with that app. So that's Huddle Technique, HUDL. Well worth it, as I said. Running, walking, squatting, single leg squats, shoulder movements, and you can. It's a really nice tool to go through it with the patient there and then. Works lovely on the iPhones. Obviously, even better on the iPads if you've got them to hand. But the iPhones are fine. Go and have some fun. Thanks very much.